Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Well, I don't know if he slipped up or knowingly said it, but yes, that is the President of the United States saying literally, yes, I agree. Let's go, Brandon. A right-wing slur, according to NBC News on national television. Yeah, welcome back. Beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Radesky here of WeAreChange.org. As of course, there's a lot of crazy information to get into surrounding old Billy Boy, as he just spewed more hatred towards nonconformists, all as LeBron James just sent out a very shocking Instagram post, which we're going to be talking about, along, of course, with the latest bombshell developing right now in South Africa. A lot of important coverage to get into, which, of course, is proudly almost the exact opposite of what the corporate media is purporting to be the reality of this world. They get a lot of money from this guy, so that could be one reason for it. But in very rare moments, the fake, carefully curated view of the world is shattered once in a while, and those moments usually go viral, just like the whole "Let's Go Brandon" chant, which started after an NBC reporter tried to cover up the true message that some fans were trying to get out during a NASCAR event. This has soon led to a meme, which I believe has just crescendoed, as a dad talking to the President of the United States recently on Joe Biden's Santa Tracker live streamed, said a dad joke that was actually pretty humorous. Well, more of a statement, really, of course, saying, "Let's go, Brandon." He filmed him doing this on his own YouTube channel to, of course, an unsuspecting President Biden, who, for some strange, really crazy reason, said he agrees with the sentiment against him. This, as the President of the United States, has been known for making many gaffes, many misstatements, also inventing many new words, as of course the corporate media, specifically CNN, has been obfuscating this larger fact of cognitive decline, covering up for many of his slip-ups and many moments that he is confused, which of course doesn't breed a lot of confidence into our current political system. This has even recently, Joe Biden confused tests with pills in a way that had some meaningful impact. This is one of the reasons the "Let's Go Brandon" meme has gone so viral, as well as absolutely horrible decisions that have greatly disenfranchised the majority of average people, only, of course, the billionaire class being greatly benefited by it. The billionaire class like Billy Boy, which we're going to be talking about in just a little bit. But in response to this breaking moment of the narrative being slowly interrupted, the response to this is that this Oregon father who did this joke on Biden, he's the one getting threats right now, as the father is coming out and also saying, quote, that he's standing behind 100% with what he did. And I think the direction that this country has been heading in under the Biden administration, the lack of economic opportunities provided to people, the hyperinflation, the boggled foreign policy, the restrictions and mandates on private individuals and private businesses. I believe people have a right to free speech and to, of course, voice their discontent with the current system that we, of course, are living under. Now, of course, on the complete other side, we, of course, have the former President of the United States, a Republican, Donald Trump, who Candace Owens is excusing as old and not understanding of the internet while excusing his recent behavior, essentially doing the bidding of Big Pharma, making declarative, generalized, unscientific statements about a procedure that he wants everyone to take. He came out during this stance during an interview with Candace Owens, and Candace is trying to do her own to excuse this promotion of a very unaccountable major industry, which a lot of people say Donald Trump is supporting a lot more than his own actual supporters. While completely all the way around the world, we have the president of Russia that just released the statement saying a woman is a woman, a man is a man, comparing gender nonconformity to the global sickness going around. Yeah, that guy definitely doesn't pull any punches. And just so you guys know, we have a bunch of Let's Go Brandon t-shirts available to you exclusively on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. We also have another one that is too spicy to show you here. We, of course, have our tributes to Dr. Fauci, Mr. Bill Gates, Gates, Klaus Schwab, and other reality-shattering content that can never be censored. As of course, these are pieces of clothing that you could wear that will definitely start some conversations, may even get you kicked out of some places, but it's all worth it to spread the message, which we have a lot of very important ones, which you could find out on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Click the link down in the description below to find out more about what you could get right now before they sell out. The shirt that I'm wearing right now is also one of those shirts that says normalize critical thinking. You would think, shouldn't be a controversial message. It is. That's how far gone some people are. As of course, the corporate media has been literally releasing news articles saying that critical thinking is bad. It's not. Having blind faith in unaccountable billionaires that are buddy-buddy with population control enthusiasts like Jeffrey Epstein, who are literally working on microchip implantables that will control people's fertility. The man who's working on GMO mosquitoes, weather modification, seeding the skies, and has been one of the major backers of Monsanto, GMO food, Mr. Bill Gates, just came out and did an interview with, of course, the corporate media, which he finances. By the way, if you didn't know this, Bill Gates has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on favorable media coverage, aka just, donating to the corporate media. Corporate media, in response, of course, does his bidding, rarely ever criticizes him. This is why there's also something called the Bill Chill in science, where a lot of people are scared to criticize Bill Gates or any of his projects or any of his initiatives, because if they do, they will lose funding, since of course his money is entangled in a lot of the medical scientific community, and if you dare speak out against him, he of course will punish you. The corporate media landscape, of course, is just another landscape that he has fully controlled with his money that has been astronomically increasing ever since the start of this global sickness, which of course he is invested in heavily in. And now we have this corporate fluffer PR crap piece written by CNBC that some crazy delusional people are calling reporting. It's not reporting. It's literally regurgitating Bill Gates' point of view unquestionably and propagating it to the general public, which was now done through Megan Sauer, that unquestionably just rewrote his talking points, where she specifically mentioned how Bill Gates is optimistic for 2022. What is he optimistic about? He's optimistic about the metaverse. Wow, gee, not a surprise there. Digital VR world where you live in a pod. Oh, where have I heard that agenda before? But after gloating about the potential of a digital future where, of course, the billionaires will control every aspect of it, he also mentioned what he's most concerned about. And can you guess what Bill Gates is most concerned about? What he's most worried about heading into 2022? Quote, people's distrust of government. Yes, the same government that made Bill Gates super rich, the same system that Bill Gates conned, that he bribed, that has allowed to create one of the largest transfers of wealth in recorded human history, taking the money from almost everyone in the general public and redistributing it to the billionaire class. That system, that government, people having mistrust in it, is what Bill Gates is most worried about heading into 2022. As he specifically said, many public institutions need to be, quote, a major player in fighting future problems, but those problems will be exacerbated, allegedly, according to Bill Gates, because people will just not accept their guidance. Saying specifically, quote, if your people don't trust you, they're not going to support major new initiatives. Yeah, what are those new initiatives? What are the new initiatives that we have seen pushed on by Bill Gates previously before? Well, there's an argument to make here that those initiatives definitely didn't help the general public. They have only made this megalomaniac billionaire even richer than he was previously before, even with him going through a divorce where he lost a lot of money. Now, why don't people believe the narrative, the government blindly? Why is that a bad thing? That's a great thing. Throughout human history, when people distrusted the system and were able to build one with accountability, transparency, and oversight, because of that mistrust, good things happened. When people blindly followed orders, blindly gave their full faith into authoritarian top-down systems, given all of their power to a few individuals, that power historically has always been corrupted. And essentially, if you look at what Bill Gates has been calling for here, what his history is, what he has financed, it is essentially that. And there are people pushing back on it, even surprisingly, people like LeBron James that were one of the biggest proponents of this narrative, of this agenda, as he recently released an Instagram message comparing the sickness going around to the cold and flu, as of course this latest variant, according to the medical professionals of the United States, has the same exact symptoms of the cold. What's really going on here? Again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not trying to give you any kind of medical advice, but what LeBron James tweeted about with this image is what a lot of people were thinking about, as of course there are many questions that the government has not answered when it comes to exactly what's been going on here. They haven't been transparent, they haven't been accountable, they've been hiding the data, they haven't been even collecting the data in many important instances. But still, Bill Gates says you need to trust them no matter what. Blind faith obedience is what he wants, and he's going to try to get it at any cost, even though there is an abundant amount of evidence and facts presenting the case that the government has absolutely bungled and had a horrible, destructive response towards all of this that has actually created more pain and havoc than some would argue helped. Even through the NFL, we're finding out that according to medical professionals that work with them, that are tracking, tracing, and databasing everything that's happening with their players surrounding their sickness, that according to the NFL's chief medical officers, there is no indication of asymptomatic spread. What's going on here? Again, we still don't know. We still don't have the data, but in response to this new variant that has the same symptoms as the cold, we're now finding out that the Regeneron antibody treatment has been postponed by the federal government, as of course there are some people saying that it is ineffective against this new variant. Now, this is the treatment that I personally got. This is the treatment that Joe Rogan got, that Tim Pool got, that we all reported feeling better right after dealing with our own sickness. Now, why is the United States halting and stopping the distribution of this when there's signs that it may not work, but still fully supporting another procedure that now some people have even taken the fourth dose of, is a question that needs to be asked, as of course there are also some significant questions surrounding this procedure, which in Israel, people are already taking the fourth dose of. Now, they're doing this in order to shore up protection against this new variant, even though there's early preliminary data showing that it might be just as ineffective or even more ineffective as the Regeneron antibody treatment. Now, again, what's going on here? I don't claim to know. What's effective here, not effective, we don't know, but we're getting a lot of suggestions highlighting a lot of concerning information, just like this article out of MedRix, which works with Yale University, that is reporting 21 out of 32 individuals that took 3 doses of this procedure all came down with this sickness. Now, if we're stopping Regeneron, what should we be doing here? Again, I don't know. But in South Africa, a country with an extremely low rate of compliance with this procedure, only a small population taking the dose of this procedure, they just announced that they're relaxing a lot of their rules surrounding their sickness, as they are reporting a decline in cases and a big probability that 80% of their population has already gained immunity towards this. And that's why they just got rid of a lot of their containment strategies, which their medical professionals say are no longer appropriate, and they're focusing on mitigation as the only viable strategy here. And by all sense of the imagination here, this absolutely does make a lot of sense, which some medical professionals should be listening to and looking at, since, of course, this new variant allegedly first came out of South Africa. But, of course, this is not the doctrine and dogma promoted by the corporate media, bought off by Mr. Bill Gates, as, of course, CNN's medical analyst says that Biden should go even further, punish more people, restrict more people, take away people's access to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, all in the name of course, giving them this procedure. Again, what we're seeing here is just overzealous, cult-like behavior that has no absolute cognitive dissonance, that has no ability to question the reality of the current situation that we're in that is absolutely absurd. We are dealing with a religion of this sickness with many mystic rituals, holy figures, and evil sins. People worship them by complying with the federal government. Their choir is, of course, the corporate media that do their preaching, as, of course, they're trying to convert as many people into their governmental corporate temple as much as they can. Anyone who, of course, deviates from this religion is a heretic, is committing a sin, and is deemed the devil. And if you look at all of this through the lens of religion, there's a big argument to make here that these people are zealots. These people are fervent. They even put a mask on a digital Santa at NORAD when they were tracking him. Where was NORAD on that one September day in 2001 where for 2 hours the best military defense just stood down? Sorry there. But they can't do that, but they could put a mask on a digital Santa. This is propaganda to the latest, highest degree. A lot of it is doctrine. A lot of it translates to a lot of absolutely disgusting behavior by individuals that are just brainwashed, attacking other individuals for not following their religious dogma. There are some people standing up even on Christmas, as of course we saw significant protests in Germany and in France, where people still decided to be heretics against this official state corporate religion where Bill Gates is their Mary Magdalene and Dr. Fauci is their Lord and Savior. I ain't with any of that. And if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. It's more important than ever. Also, another way to really try, and I'm not just trying to shill the shirts here, but for real, one of the best ways to get the messaging out there in an easy, comfortable way, to make people understand that, number one, they're not alone. Two, to make people critically think, to see some of the images, some of the words that go against the matrix, to see that there's actually another point of view here is absolutely critically important. So even if you don't go to thebestpoliticalshirts.com, just even wearing some kind of shirt that you make yourself shows people that you're not afraid. And I think that right now, at this very important juncture, is more critically important than ever. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. That's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for a lot more here on wearechange.org.